Welcome to Near Falls with D. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's just Near Falls with D. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. We're talking Near Falls with D. Ready or not, he's here to brawl.
What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into another edition of Near Falls with D Hall, a wrestling podcast. Today, so excited. This is the best time of year. My favorite project of the year, the 24-25 WPIAL Coaches Preview. So excited to bring this to you guys. I have a bunch of different coaches coming on from across the WPIAL. They're going to come on, talk about their schedule, expectations, up-and-comers, their leaders, their seniors, all that type of stuff. You guys know the drill. This is year 3 or 4 of me doing it. So pumped up to bring it to you guys. I really hope you enjoy it, and just hope you enjoy listening to these guys talk like I did. It was always a blast for me, and this year was no different. So without further ado, welcome in to the WPIAL Coaches Preview.
Welcome to the Near Falls WPIAL Show, where D.R. and Kaz are gonna tell you all the things you wanna know. Whether it's Trinity or Spencer Lee or Mr. Kurt Angle, just ask Vinny, where be at Ken and Mac for sure. They got the interviews to soothe your soul, because it's Near Falls in the WPIAL.
Okay, joining me now on the call, we have head coach of Penn Trafford Area School District, Mr. Travis McKillop. How are you, sir?
I'm good, D. How you doing, brother?
Doing real good indeed, my friend. So pumped up to have you on. One of my favorites in the WPIAL. I didn't see too much of your ass last year, so I got a bone to pick with you. But
yeah, man, what the heck?
You're back. So talk to me about all that. You coming back? You were still around last year, but man, back in charge. And what's the off-season program look like for you guys?
Yeah, back on top. I mean, Larry Homan's obviously been involved in PT wrestling for probably since he came out the wound. I got another draw promotion that I kind of couldn't turn down. It was the best interest for myself and my family and my future. So just a little bit adapting to that, kind of just step down. I wasn't able to be there, 6 days a week or 5 days a week. So I just didn't feel like it was fair or right for the kids if I'm not giving them all to be the head coach. And Troy Hummon was not starting the starting lineup at NC State, so Larry was able to take some time out of his schedule, take over head coach. And I got settled in my job. Everything's good. Actually leave earlier than I probably should. But yeah, back in charge. And I love it, man. I'm real excited to take back over. Kids are looking great. Off season's been awesome, man. You know what I mean? We've been going pretty much end of May, early June, just kind of going 2 days a week, just getting the regulars in the room. I combined middle school and high school, having great turnouts, more than I was expecting, probably about 12 to 15 kids, which is great for PT, you know what I mean? Because a lot of kids are stellar athletes in baseball, football, golf, and soccer, you know what I mean? So to see that outturn, it was great, man. Probably went from like end of May, June till about September, 2 days a week. And then pretty much from September on, we've been going 4 days a week. We've been pretty much full tilt, you know what I mean? So it's been great, man. Kids are learning a lot. They're looking good.
Talk to me about the next level. Who do you have on the alumni group wrestling or doing big things post high school?
Awesome. So this is actually my 5th year involved with Penn Trafford, wrestling program. And I have 5 guys on the next level, so it's wonderful to see, the dedication that I put in is paying off. You know what I mean? I actually just had a group text. It's funny, I asked that question on Monday night. Obviously I have Troy Homan, one of my greatest wrestlers I've ever coached in my career. He's at NC State in the ACC. He actually just wrestled at Rutgers, and he lost to Shaver, number 6 ranked kid from Rutgers. He had him on the ropes, man. He's right there. He ended up giving up a stupid takedown at the end, but it was like 9-6. But the score, didn't resemble. And I was texting.
He'll be there.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, Troy, you're right there. You're there with the best, in the Big Ten. So, keep your head up. He's doing great on and off the mat at NC State. Dominic Hartman, another one, love the kid. He's wrestling D3 Teal College, wrestling under Craig Thurber, who was a UPJ alumni. He's one of my uncles. Last year, I think he lost the regionals in the blood round. So I think he's looking, to crack NCAAs at D3 level. Obviously, I got Big Joe Enoch, my man. He actually just transferred to St. Francis. He's settled. He feels at home. He's doing great on the football field. His grades are great. Great dude. Check in with him regularly. So it's awesome to see. Owen Ott. Owen was a crazy success story. I don't think he was like a baby giraffe trying to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. Just got back. He's wrestling my alma mater up at UPJ, just battling some knee injuries, but he's finally on the mat. He just placed his first college open tournament. So he's doing great on and off the mat. And lastly, I got H. Coy, old Hayden Coy, at Bloomsburg, and he's doing great. You know what I mean? He loves the coach, loves the facilities up there. He has great technique. He's redshirting this year. I was actually just texting him not too long ago. He's wrestling in the Black Knight Invitational this weekend. So I just told him to kick some butt this weekend. But, 5 kids at the next level. So
moving up quick, man. And you love to hear that. And, I love to hear that all those dudes are doing well, especially Big Joe Enoch. You love to hear that. I know he was on the football field. And
still has a mean mullet, D-Hall.
Mean mullet, probably fishing and, probably drinking beers, I'm sure. I love that, man. That's good stuff. Okay, talk to me, about some of your leaders. Who are some of these guys that you're going to be leaning on this year? Obviously, you have a couple state qualifiers on your team, or at least one that I can remember, Mr. Barrett. But just talk about your squad.
Yeah. So I have 2 actually.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Tasso Whipple qualified his
sophomore
year. Last year, he took 5th in a Whipple, so he lost key match to some tough opponents. Obviously, leaning big on Tasso, man. They just lost in the quarterfinals to Peters Township, I believe. So he's literally been in the room for 8 days, and man, the kid's just a natural. He's a natural born leader. He just carries that weight on his shoulder, and he does a great job. He's just a raw kid, comes in. Football's his main sport. He's been visiting some smaller D1 programs, some offers he has, but come in 8 days, and it's like he hasn't missed a beat. You know what I mean? He just has that raw energy, just the natural vibes and his attitude. He picks up the room. So it's awesome to have him back along with other football guys. Dylan Barrett, obviously 2-time state qualifier. He's been there 2 years, freshman, sophomore year, kind of losing the round right before the blood round. Last year, lost in a blood round. And, with his size, he's not going to be all talking like Tasso is at a big, higher weight, but Squirrel leads by example. He's just a kid. He'll run through a brick wall. He's really bought into me, with his trust into me and our other coaching. And he bought into his training and our style that we're trying to, present as the backbone of our program. So he's another great one. And Logan Mastrich, he's a junior for me this year. He's placed in a Whipple his freshman and sophomore year. I think he placed 8th, his freshman year. Last year he placed 5th. So he's right there. He's committed. He's been coming in through the summer. He's a fantastic baseball player, but he's really committing to wrestling now. And he looks really sharp, and he just is a good figure in the room. You know what I mean? He's a good kid on the mat. He does the right thing. He listens to us, drills hard, great technique, leads by example, and he knows what to say, when to say it too. So those 3 are kind of my leaders of the team at this point.
How about the other side of the coin, freshmen or, guys that are breaking in the lineup that, might make a deep run at Whippios or even find themselves in the state tournament championship?
Yeah. So I actually have Coach Pecora, my college wrestling coach, passed away not too long ago, but his brother's grandson, Gina Pecora, is a freshman for me this year.
Nice.
Big name to live up to. Obviously, I have that natural tendency to lean towards him. He's a great kid. He's laid back. He has slick technique. Another one, he's a fantastic football player. He's just an athlete. You know what I mean? He's definitely going to be in a start lineup from 41 to 52. Kind of getting some weight down. Weight starts ending up. Got him where I want to be, but looking for him to make a little bit of noise. You know what I mean? That's a tough weight for a freshman. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Wrestling 18-year-old seniors who are fully matured, but looking for him to make some noise. He's a great kid. He listens. And got 2 other kids who are younger, a little bit of technique to clean up. But Seth Pachiba, tough kid, freak athlete, great football player, just an athlete all around. And Bryce Klingensmith, younger kid, puts into work, man. You know, so I'm hoping time will tell for him. His uncle actually was an All-American at UPJ, so he has some big shoes to look up to. But those are about 3 freshmen I have that I'm looking forward to see where they end up towards the end of the year.
Man, we talked at least 4 times now about UPJ. I'm sure you got a UPJ boy on your coaching staff. Talk about your coaching.
Yeah. So, well, I got to quit letting Isaac Greeley and Burrow steal all the UPJ guys. They'll go to Burrow, you know?
Yeah.
But no, I was able to land one. Isaac wasn't able to steal him from me. Nathan Smith is going to be my assistant this year. Stud, man.
Yep.
You know,
2-time AA, right?
Yeah, he's a 2-time All-American at UPJ. He was younger than me. He's like my little brother. I call him Larry Jr. I mean, the dude, you know, it's Friday.
I buy that. I love that. That's awesome.
You know, no wrestling's going on. I'm like, Nate, let's meet up for a beer, watch the football game, whatever. He's sitting there writing essays and texts about, you know, Tasso needs to do this or Squirrel needs to do that. I'm like, hey, Larry Jr., let's calm down a bit. No, he's awesome, man. He actually works at the same company for me. He's in IT at Cleveland Brothers right there in Murraysville. So we're there every day. He helps me out when I got stuff outside going on. I might have to leave practice early. He just brings that raw energy. He's younger. He's in there beating the hell out of the kids, which we need. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Still has a 6-pack. I told him once he turns 32, that'll go away. Larry Hummond's still helping. Obviously, you know Larry. He's my right-hand man. You know, Troy's starting this year at 133 for NC State. So Larry's in and out of practices, but when he's there, he's there. And he helps me on the back end more than you can believe. And I actually got Shane Young, 3-time state champ from PT.
Not a bad ad, my friend.
No. So he moved back home. He was living down in the Carolinas after he wrestled West Virginia. He's coming in the room with work. He's kind of transitioning back home. But he's usually there about 2-3 times a week, and 3-time state champ. I mean, it speaks for himself. You know what I mean? He was a runner-up his freshman year, made the finals.
I mean, one of the best to ever do it as far as WPIAL concerned.
Yeah. I mean, hard to beat that technique, you know. And it's awesome to get that different outlook on things. You know, he was a complete different style wrestler than me, lighter weight. You know, we show the same fundamentals, but kids, you got to find your niche into things, right? And Shane was crafty, man. He shows some things that I watch when he's teaching, and I'm like, damn it, you know, that makes perfect sense, you know. So he's going to be a huge asset. So I'm pretty excited about having him back on board.
Man, it sounds like you got a pretty elite coaching staff, my friend.
We're working on it over here, D Hall.
I love that. Like you said, you gotta stop Greenlee from stealing all them Burrow. You know,
I know that's what I'm saying. He's stealing all them UPJ alone.
Not a bad thing, for sure. I guess, you know, I'll give you a chance, man. Talk to me about, you know, obviously you lost your coach, and you know, Coach Pecora. We just talked about, you know, his nephew or grandson, I believe. But just talk about, you know, what he meant to you as, you know, your coach, you know, a father figure, all those things. I'll give you a little time to give him a little shout out there.
Man, yeah. I mean, not just me. You know, we went to his funeral, and all the honorary pallbearers, you know, all his old time wrestlers, whether they were national champs, the Jody Strip Matters, the John Strip Matters. It was people that might not even have been starters that were part of the team, you know, from 1980s. I think there was a total of 235 alumni wrestlers there.
Wow.
It was heart touching, man. You know what I mean? Just to see his outreach in the wrestling community, but his community up there in Johnstown. It was insane. You know what I mean? I thought that was my coach. You know what I mean? That was mine. But just to see all the lives he's touched, it was incredible. You know, they just had an alumni match come up to honor coach. They wrestled West Lib actually 2 weeks ago, and just a turnout there to see just throughout the school, the administration, other coaches, even other coaches. I mean, Coach Whaler was there from Mercyhurst, you know what I mean? And just to see him compete, and you would think, oh, they hate each other, man. I mean, the stories that Coach Whaler and Coach, was telling me about Coach McCord calling him, and it's unreal. You know what I mean? I can't speak enough words to explain how many lives he's touched, especially mine. You know what I mean? That's what I base my coaching backbone on, is his system, that culture, that brotherhood and family. And, I wasn't the easiest for Coach by any means in college. I'll be the first to admit it. There was outside life. I like to have fun, probably too much fun. And I put him through the ringer, man. And I never went over the edge. It didn't matter what I did, right or wrong. He always had my back. He always supported me. And that's what I try to do to these kids. You know what I mean? Support them on and off the mat, whether it's in school, whether they're right or wrong, and just try to preach that culture to them,
Yeah, for sure, man. And, that was a good soliloquy there. And, I feel like every single person that I've talked to about Coach is kind of same type of vibes, man. Just like another father figure. It's just great stuff, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Talk to me about your schedule, man. How did you get your hands on it? Have you changed it? Made it the same? What's
yeah, I did. So our first tournament's actually the week December 6th, 7th at Hickory Invitational up in Hickory. Tough D2, like D2, Division II, AA schools, Fort LaBeouf, Couder Sport. Hickory has a tough squad. I think Brookville's coming this year. Just some tough, AA schools. There's a few triple in there, but just people we don't wrestle all the time. I try to switch it up. Try to get into King of the Mountain, but I was a little late with planning that. But I'm excited to kick it off at Hickory. Like I said, there's some tough kids, scrappy kids. There's like a 32-man bracket. Back in Powerade, we're going to Brookville Doles this year. That's like a quad dole meet type deal.
Brookville Doles are awesome. The AA ones. I mean, dog fight Doles.
Yeah, tough. I mean, geez, I wrestled in them back in the day with Burl, and I mean, Jesus, those were state quarterfinals, dole team doles, and state semis. I mean, we wrestled Reynolds at Brookville, then we wrestled them in the state semis, for gosh sakes, and just tough teams, and I have nothing respect with them programs, just the history that they bring, and they're going to bring it. You know what I mean? And that's what I like. We're not wrestling, the same WPIAL schedule, seeing Kiski every weekend, seeing, Franklin Regional every other weekend. So kind of switching it up back in Powerade. So I'm excited, man. Pretty tough schedule. But we've been working hard, so I think we're ready for it.
Talk to me about your thoughts on the new qualification process as far as the individual goes. I mean, obviously, we add an extra round, we pick up a qualifier, but we also add 20, 25 teams to the mix as well, in an extra weekend. So, just break that down for me and give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah. That's tough, man. It's a little heartbreaking for the WPIAL. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a slap in the face for the WPIAL. I mean, look at the WPIAL. Look at the Division I national champs year after year. How many people were in the finals solely from the WPIAL? And I think they're kind of taking something away from us. You know what I mean? I mean, look at the statistics of how many people AAA WPIAL places at states. It's always the WPIAL on top of the leaderboard. So a little bit of a slap in the face. I think it's I don't know who made that decision, where it came from. Do I agree with it? No. But I think what that does is that just makes the WPIAL tougher. Not just me. The WPIAL comes together, right? We battle. Everyone wants to be the WPIAL champ for bragging rights. But it just brings us together more when we're outside the WPIAL. When we go to states, I think that lights a fire under each kid's ass that says, hey, this is a slap in the face. I'm going to go show them why we're the WPIAL, why we're the best in the country. So
I love that approach. I love that take. It's good stuff. Good way to approach it. We'll show you twice as hard.
Right.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. Okay. Talk to me about room games. What are you guys getting into over there at Penn Trafford?
Listen to me. My team might not be ranked number 1 in the state for wrestling, but we're number 1 in 3-step. All right.
Oh, here we go. I bet you I got some. Here we go.
So, I mean, not your West A boys. Shit, I'll go out east and say not the East End boys. There's no one touching us in 3-step. I don't care if you got 60 kids on your squad.
Now here's the question: you getting in there and battling with them boys?
I throw that ball as hard as I possibly can.
Yes.
I'm going for blood, D-Hall.
I love that. Yes, sir. You got to let them know, man.
That's it. That's it.
That's good stuff. All right. Coach or not coaching staff, goals and expectations. What's that look like for you guys this year? You stepping back into the head role. Where do you want to be at, not only as a team, but individually?
Man, yeah, it's a good question. I've been watching a lot. Fell in love with Doug Schwab. Don't know if you follow him.
Yes.
You and I.
Yes.
His speeches, his outlook on life and practice and wrestling is, if I could go back, I would go to him. He sucks me in when I watch his interviews, his end of practice speeches. I don't care, this year is the first time I have backups. I wrestled at Burl. We won a team title. We had 15 kids on our team. PT, the last 4 years I've been there, we have 15 kids on our team,
Yep.
This year I have 21 right now. So I have backups, you know what I mean? I'm not even used to having that, so it's great to see the competition in the room. Realistically, I think a realistic, achievable goal for us is to compete for our section title. You know what I mean? Norwin got a tough squad. Franklin will be battling with them. I think that's a realistic goal. That's what I want to achieve, and that's what I want the kids to achieve. I want to make some noise in the WPIAL, and watching my kids drill, we have the talent, right? We have the work ethic right now to compete, with the Connellsvilles, the Cannon Max, the historic programs that have the depth and the toughness. I'm not coaching to be good. I want to coach these kids to be great. And I tell them at the end of every practice, hey, guys, I'll put you 13 against anyone, right? You want to show up, you want to work hard. I'll die for you. You die for me, right? So I think we can make some noise in WPIAL. You know what I mean? I truly believe that, and that's my goal for the team. Individually, I would like to see us get 4 to states. You know what I mean? I got some tough kids returning, 2 returning qualifiers, I think, that have maybe a bad taste in their mouth that have been there, and they're ready to take that next step. I would like to bring home some hardware. You know what I mean? I think that's the ultimate goal. I know Squirrel has a goal to be a state champ. Tasso told me today he thinks he could take top 4 in the state, and I believe him. You know what I mean? Logan Mastrich, he's hungry. He's there. He wants a medal around his neck. His dad was a place winner for Penn Trafford back in the day. And he has a fire under his ass too. So I would love to bring home some hardware, right? Ultimate goal, state champs, right? We don't want to be good. We want to be great. So I'm going to push them. I hope they believe in me to work hard, and we'll see how the chip, we'll throw it out there, see how the chips fall.
Absolutely, man. Okay. Well, while we watch those chips fall, where can we watch that happen social medias wise?
Oh man, we got a Twitter account, Warrior Wrestling on Twitter, Instagram, Warrior Wrestling on Instagram. We'll have live updates on our Twitter account, match to match. I'm not going to go into depth tweeting with everything else I got going on, takedowns and back points, but just updates per weight, per matches. Be posting pictures on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, catch live updates and see how we're doing.
All right, my friend, anything or anyone else you want to shout out before I leave you go?
Nah, man, just again, I'll shout out to Coach Pecora, RIP. He had a huge influence on me and hundreds and hundreds of other people throughout the wrestling community. So just shout out to him, and I appreciate you, D-Hall. Thanks for what you do, man.
My man, much love. Thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with me.
All right, D-Hall. I'll see you this year, brother.
Later.